in our society, we value youth. And like, I don't think anything's wrong with that, except for the fact I think we value really just value the physical aspects of it, which really, like, can we please just value some of the playfulness of it? Like, can we get a little bit of balance here? We all know how different things are now. So style at any age, like, what does that mean? But the question that comes up over and over again is this appropriate? Am I allowed to shop at this store? What's up, Style Nation? You sexy beach you. I am so excited that you're here, back with another episode. So I have to record today. Today's been an amazing day with lots of juicy energy, and I just want to infuse it right into today's episode. So I had some amazing calls. It's been a day full of calls, and I don't usually record on days where I have a bunch of client calls or Style Squad calls because, quite frankly, usually, like, it's a lot and you put all your energy into it. But I feel so freaking inspired, and there's so much cool stuff going on that I want to share with you. So I'm channeling this juicy energy straight to you. Hopefully it finds you in the best place ever. So thank you so much for being here, listening to the Style for Life podcast. I couldn't be more grateful for you. And if you're anything like me, you love podcasts, and podcasts have changed your life. And I am a firm freaking believer in that. And it's funny, today we were on the Style Squad call, and almost everyone on the call was a podcaster. And then we had a guest speaker today, and then she was a podcaster. And I was like, you know what I've realized? And I know you know this, especially all my female entrepreneurs out there, but I just want to say it again, because sometimes something's right in front of our face and we just can't see it. Like, one of my old coaches used to say, like, you can't read the label from inside the bottle, right? And whoa, I just had the biggest epiphany on that over the last couple of weeks. But podcasting is a fantastic way to deeply network. So, like, if you're a deep connector and you hate networking, I highly suggest go pitch yourself on some podcast. And you won't love every single person you podcast with. Of course you won't. But I have met the most amazing women through podcasting and have got to bring them into the Style Squad and all of that. So that being said, before we jump into today's episode on how to be stylish at any age, we're going to break down all the mental gymnastics that you might have around your age and your style, which I find comes up a lot. And for me, for a lot of my clients, the journey usually starts after we have kids, when that whole favorite word, which is actually my least favorite word, is this appropriate? But before we do that, before we get into the podcast today on how to be stylish at any age, I wanted to share with you some podcast juice. So speaking of podcast, in the next couple weeks, I am going to be dropping a private podcast mini series just for you on how to nail your next photo shoot. So I've created a 5-part mini series on how to nail your next photo shoot. If you don't have a photo shoot coming up, well, you're constantly probably on photo, right? If you run in a business or live in a life, you're taking photos for Instagram or for whatever all of the time. In the digital age, let's be honest, like, when are we not, like, doing a photo shoot? Which I highly, recommend Digital Detox, but that's a different mini series for a different day. So I'll let you guys know when that's ready, because I'm super, super excited. And I will be dropping a private podcast in the Style Squad. That's going to be one of the new perks of being a Style Squad member, is mini episodes 3 to 5 days a week over in the Style Squad. So I had to share that with you because there's a lot of fun podcast opportunities and offers coming your way. And I live and die by podcasts. Like, the value that podcasts can provide is, like, untouchable. That being said, hopefully today's episode will be highly valuable for you as well. So let's hop right in. Style at any age. So as a business owner, as a new business owner. It's really scary. And I don't know how far along you are in your journey. If you're hanging out here, I'm going to assume that we have really close paths, or you connect with me on some level on this entrepreneurial journey, feeling a little new. And the one thing that comes up for me a lot is starting this journey in my 40s. And I see this come up a lot with clients as well. And in our society, we value youth. And like, I don't think anything's wrong with that, except for the fact I think we value really just value the physical aspects of it, which really, like, can we please just value some of the playfulness of it? Like, can we get a little bit of balance here? Anyways, so I really want to dig into these ideas and these thoughts about how, like, we're doing something late in life and what's appropriate after a certain age. So I got to be published in a local magazine, and it was a senior living magazine, which, let's be honest, is like 55 plus. And I'm pretty sure my clients were pissed. But senior could be anything, because when we think of senior, we think of Golden Girls, right? Like, anyways, but we all know how different things are now. So style at any age, like, what does that mean? But the question that comes up over and over again is this appropriate? Is this appropriate? Am I allowed to shop at this store? Can I still shop and buy things from J. Crew? So I just wanted to take a few minutes to really just pull apart those mindsets and offer up some different perspectives and some different ways to think about it. And I wanted to give you a thought remodel. So I felt really, really inspired to record this today after a Style Squad call today. And the message from this call is not what I want to share, but it's a message from a previous call. And it all just kind of came together and connected the dots. And I was like, man, this energy is so juicy. I want to share it with everyone that listens to the podcast. And of course, try to gently persuade you to join us in the Style Squad, because it's so fucking amazing. But I knew I had to share this other amazing thought remodel that we were talking about in the Style Squad with another guest speaker that had come in. But before we get to the thought remodel, I really want to jump through a couple perspectives here on style at any age. First and foremost, let's start out with there's no fucking fashion Illuminati. So there is no fashion Illuminati out there looking at you, judging you, saying that's not appropriate. No one's judging you as much as you're judging yourself. Okay, so let's just put that one out there. It's appropriate if you think it's appropriate. So the next time you're asking yourself, is this appropriate? Am I allowed to shop at J. Crew? Is this skirt too short? Is this too tight? Do moms dress like this? Do 40-year-olds dress like this? Am I allowed to still wear heels this high? Am I allowed to wear this color? All of those are thoughts. And that's why we're going to wrap this episode up with a thought remodel. But all of those are thoughts, right? That are creating your reality, that are creating your style, which are creating your life, which are creating your business, which is creating your profit, which is creating your sustainability, which is ultimately fucking creating your happiness and joy. So with all that said, let's start with all of these things are thoughts. There's nobody out there judging you more than you're judging yourself. It's only appropriate to stop wearing something or to not wear something if you don't like it. Like, let's just keep it so simple. If it makes you happy, it's appropriate. And if that's not a good enough answer for you, and you're like, Katie, that's not really, like, not helping because it's way too broad, let's dig into this. More than anything, the older we get, it's really just about how things fit, okay? Anything can be appropriate at any age as long as it fits. It's truly, honestly, just the fit. Does the silhouette flatter your personality and your body type? If you can mark off those two things and it makes you feel amazing, who is to say it's appropriate? If you're listening to this and you're a female entrepreneur, let's go out on a limb and say you're already breaking status quo. So if you're already breaking status quo by being a female entrepreneur, being a female leader in your life, which I know that you are if you're attracted to this podcast, then it's appropriate, because what you're already doing is breaking the ceiling. So let's continue to break it and continue to break it in a way that feels amazing for you and is totally appropriate. In the Style Squad, no matter what I do that's awesome and juicy, the biggest call that we have is this monthly masterclass on the seasonal trends and how to take them and translate them into everyday life. So what you guys might not know is behind the scenes, I have been doing Style Squad for almost a year now. It just wasn't open to public. It was just something that I was running behind the scenes and was only available to clients who had already worked with me, one-on-one clients. And that call was just so juicy. And we were beginning to form this community. And I was like, oh my God, I really want to just open this up to anyone who is style curious, who just hasn't ever really let themselves dive into clothes and express themselves through clothes, or might be feeling like their clothes and their clothing choices are holding them back, and open up the Style Squad for those from that person. And every time we have this call and we go through the trends, somebody asks, like, is this appropriate? Am I allowed to shop there? And every time, like, we walk through it and we have this conversation. So I'm trusting that, this applies to you as well. So style it at any age. So there's no fashion Illuminati. We're allowed to wear whatever we want. We're really just focused on the fit. And that's all cool and everything. But like an actual practical implementation of wearing what you want comes with real life people that know you and don't know you. So I know that it's super easy for me to sit here and say, like, wear whatever you want. It's just your mindset. And that shit's great. But actually putting it on and wearing it down the steps in front of your teenagers and in front of your spouse, in front of your neighbors and all of that comes, I understand, with a lot more things to think about and talk about. So I also wanted to have the teenage conversation as part of this style at any age. So first point I would have to say is we're going to give ourselves permission to own our style. Second is, like, and I say this over and over and over, is you have to know your style. It's appropriate only if you know it and it's you. Not wearing it because you think you should, not wearing it because I told you to, not wearing it because it is the thing that's happening. It's because it's so truly deeply you. And it fits. As long as it's so truly deeply you and it fits, then it's appropriate. But I wanted to talk about this layer of teenagers and kids. And this comes up a lot. Like I said, style at any age. I'm in my 40s. A lot of the women that I work with are in my 40s, heading to the 40s. I truly think the 40s are magical. I fucking love them. And I know I'll say that when I'm in my 50s too. But here we are in this time and space. And a lot of us have teenagers or kids that are approaching that teenage age. Now, I don't have a teenage daughter. And currently she hates clothes, my daughter. But my son's a teenager, and I kind of get it. Like, I'm forever a boomer. Like, does that resonate with you? Like, forever a fucking boomer in his eyes. No matter what I do, no matter how fucking cool I am, like, and oddly enough, I'm obviously not even a fucking boomer, right? But in his eyes, I will forever be a boomer. And I get this all the time with clients. They'll say, like, oh, my kid said this, or my daughter said this, and my daughter does this, and she's really into fashion, and she's going to school for fashion, and she does this. Oh my God, like, introduce me to her first. And then second, like, just let's take a pause. Teenagers are amazing. And while we value youth, and there's this pressure to want to still be relevant, because for whatever reason in our society, we have deemed age is not relevant, but, like, let's be real. How much more relevant could you be? You have the one thing that she or he doesn't have, or that teenager in your life doesn't have, and that is the wisdom of who you are. So keep the perspective of they're only able to meet you where they've met themselves, and they've only met themselves in this really small amount of time, and these really, like, curated lives that honestly you have created for them up until that point. So just no matter what, remember that their lifestyle, their needs, their desires, their body confidence, the things they worry about, the things they love, the way that they know themselves is so different than the way that you know yourself. Only you can know that. And believe me, I know, like, I feel like a little puppy sometimes following my son around, like, are you going to pay attention to me? How was school today? Oh my God, I miss you. You're growing up so quick. And, like, always playing that game. And him and I have style conversations all the time, and he's always challenging, like, my style and, what I'm telling people and things like that. So I totally get it. But I just wanted to share that this is the story of you That style is an expression of you. I don't know if that is something that you're dealing with and something that's tripping you up, but that's just something I really wanted to address as this style at any age and what that can mean for you. It's really about wardrobe. Like when I did that interview and I got it to be published in that book, I'm pretty sure the journalist was like irritated as shit with me. She was like, so what are the hot tips? I was like, the hot tips apply no matter how old you are, right? The golden ratio, necklines, wearing things that look good on your body. Like those are the hot tips. If you've been following me on Instagram, I've talked about the golden ratio, but I can't just throw it out there without talking about it on the podcast today. I understand that because God knows I hate when people do that. The golden ratio is when we're styling our bodies, breaking it up into thirds. So when you're styling your body, you never want it to be a half and half situation, meaning that like right now is a really good example to really demonstrate this. Think of the 90s style that's really popular right now, right? So the tops, everything's a fucking crop top right now. So all the tops are tight and small and cropped, and the bottoms are really big and baggy, right? So the body is essentially broken up into thirds. The top part of our outfit is the 1/3, and the bottom portion of our outfits is 2/3. Reverse that. Skinny jeans are really, really popular, and they look great with like baggy sweatshirts and oversized sweaters and longer tunics, right? So 2/3 of your body is the top and 1/3 is the bottom. And that could also apply for dresses. So if you think of like a dress, 2/3 of your body, and then 1/3 could be boots, or it could be a cute pair of shoes. So that's the 1/3. All my visuals, I do have a post on Instagram that talks about this. But I know it's kind of hard to explain through podcasting, but here we are. All of those tips still apply. They apply at 40, they apply at 50, they apply at 60, creating a waist, 3/4 length sleeves, making sure you have a neckline that elongates for your body shape, making sure you're dialed in to what accessories make you feel amazing. That doesn't change whether you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. And you guys know, if you've been on this journey here with me for a little bit at all, like Iris Apfel is hands down one of my favorite style icons. Style at any age. All right. I think the thing with age to consider and to always remember is your style cycles just like your life cycles. And that's why it's amazing to get advice from teenagers. And it is interesting right now for those of us that are experiencing our high school styles coming back into style. And now our teenagers are dressing like that. You're like, whoa, it's kind of a mind fuck a little bit. But we still are doing the evolved version of it. And that's what fashion always does. Fashion always shows the evolved version of something. Yes, 90s style is really popular. Does it really look like it looked in the 90s? Maybe, but we didn't have the technology that we have now. So for one thing, for sure, I bet that the fabrics are better, right? There's just like so many different ways that things get to evolve, and we get to evolve just like that. So just like style is showing you and the fashion showing you that it can repeat some of the things that we have loved over time, but every time we do it again, we do it better and we do it fresher and we're doing it with a new perspective, and we're doing it with that wisdom that we have developed around who we are, right? And this is the thing about style at any age is it's just like life. Our style, our wardrobe, our closet, that journey never ends. It never ends. You don't win this game. How you win this game is to allow yourself to play it, and then allow yourself to have fun with it when you play it, and allow yourself to evolve. You'll need clothes this summer. You're going to need new clothes in the fall. You're going to need new clothes next spring and summer. And it's so funny because last month in the Style Squad, we really were focusing on money and embodying your wealth and your abundance and your health through your style. And one of our guest speakers was an accountant, and we were talking about how many people do not have a line item in their budgets, or a few budgets, for clothing. And I was like, that's really interesting because, well, we all have to wear clothes, right? So let it evolve with you. This isn't a game that you're out to win. It doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter your style. What really matters is that you're just using it for the power that it truly is. And the power that it is your confidence. That's really it. The power is the personal decision that you've made to get to love and know yourself so you can self-express. Because when you put on an outfit and you feel really secure in your wardrobe choices, it reflects in your self-image. And when our self-image reflects confidence, we appear more trustworthy and more honest. Shout out to my business owners. Isn't that what we're trying to do? Create deep connection, put our work out into the world, create inherent trust with our clients and with our potential clients. When someone trusts us, they refer us. They become one of our raving fans. They tell everybody about us, right? That's how we create sustainable relationships. It's how we create sustainable businesses. So it doesn't matter. Style at any age, as long as it fits and as long as you love it. Really, that's it. Hope you weren't looking for more hot tips. We can do style tips all day long. But it applies to all ages, right? So now that we've talked through all the mindset, let's go through a little thought remodel that one of my favorite mentors popped into the Style Squad. I think it was last month. And we talked about this. We talked about the permission to be right, the permission to wear whatever we want, the permission to be right. You are right. It's your style. It doesn't matter what age you're at. So she walked us through. So she has this thought remodel process that she does with all her clients. And she walked us through it, but she walked us through it on how we do it with clothes and buying clothes. So I wanted to take that model and share it with you on the podcast today. And this is how, like, you hear all the time that our thoughts become our reality. And it can be one of the most frustrating comments I think that I hear sometimes. I don't know if it's frustrating to me because it feels like it's become cliche, or if it's frustrating to me because I still have shitty thoughts. And I'm like, come on, let's get it together. Why am I still having this thought? But I'm still having this thought because of last week's episode with Dr. Alex of Zesty Ginger. Thoughts become habitual. So let's talk about this thought remodel. So maybe you can, sometimes we have to have that, that 10,000 feet view of what's going on so we can actually think it through and pick a different thought. So we can pick a different outfit. So we can dress for the woman that we want to be. So we can wear who we need to be that day. Isn't that amazing? That's also a Style Squad one-liner. Like that community is rocking my world. This isn't me. This is the Style Squad community. I'm literally just sharing with you. And this is the power of community, like coming to life, is you get amazing women together in a group and they share so much powerful stuff. And then we all get to disperse it out to our communities and the other people that we touch. So we're going to go through the thought remodel process. So how that thought remodel process works through is we have a circumstance, we have a thought, we have a feeling, we have an action or an inaction, and then we have the result. And the result, obviously, is where our thoughts become our realities. So starting with the top of the model, right? So the first layer of the model is the C, the circumstance. This is the truth. Okay, this is not your feeling. This is not your thought. This is the truth. This is, will it hold up in the court of law? Truth, right? Like no one can disagree. Outfits exist online. They do. You can shop online. That's a truth, right? Boom. Now we move to the next part of the model. The next layer is the thought, the T, right? So the circumstance, now we have the thought. The thought is, now I'm looking at that outfit. Maybe it's one that I've created on Instagram and you're like, that isn't right for me. I could never wear that. We've all had that moment, no matter who you are, right? So the circumstances, there's an outfit online. Katie posted an Instagram post. I could never wear that. Even though she said there's a shopping link right there. That's not for me. So the circumstances happened. Now we have the thought. Now the feeling comes in, and the feeling is, well, I could probably wear that, except for I can't stop eating the potato salad. That's been me this week. Can't stop eating the potato salad or the gummy bears, or I'm not working out like I thought I should, or I'm getting too old. So, and people my age don't wear that, and whatever that inner mean girl voice is that pops onto you that we all know happens in an instant, just like that. And outfits online. We have a thought about it. That thought kicks off a feeling, one that we've been having habitually. And then now we take the action or we take the inaction. chances are we're not going to buy the outfit because now we've just talked ourselves out of the outfit. We make up the story around the outfit about why we can't wear it. We have nowhere to go. No one's going to see me. We start to prove it. We have to collect the evidence on this. Now, we're really good evidence collectors, usually on shitty things, usually on the negative thoughts that we have on repeat, right? So we are trying to prove that the thought is fact, that the thought is actually the circumstance when it's not. So we don't buy the outfit, or we don't even let ourselves try the outfit. And it could be a pair of shoes. We don't even let ourselves try the pair of shoes. And then the result is we avoid it because it's not for us. That quick, that simple, that's how we are making decisions around our style on a daily basis. So my coach that actually gave this example, this one's near and dear to her heart because when I first started in her coaching program, and I was one of her clients, and then in since turn she's become mine. Well, now it's really like cross-pollination at this point, right? She had the same exact story around lipstick. I was like, what about lipstick? Right? That was just the circumstance. The truth is lipstick exists. The thought was like, well, that's not for me. I'm not the person that wears lipstick, and I definitely don't wear bright lipstick. And then whatever the feeling was around that, I can't begin to like guess or name what her exact feeling was. And then the next thing was like not buying it, right? And then the reality was, well, I'm just not a person that wears lipstick. But because she's a coach and she's a master thought remodeler, guess what she's doing now? Wearing lipstick. Now, sometimes I'm reaching out to her like, what lipstick is that? Like, what are you doing? I need to know, right? That's how our thoughts become our realities. And then what she uncovered was like, holy shit, this helps me tap into my J-Lo energy. This helps me tap into my Beyonce energy, right? She's wearing who she needs to be for the day to do the thing that she wants to do, to live the life that she really wants to live. So I hope that was helpful for you. I hope that really just tears apart whatever style tip that you think is out there that you don't know because you don't not know it. It's around allowing yourself to play and giving yourself permission. Style is for anybody at any age, as long as it fits and flatters your body and you love it. That's it. All right, we can do a whole nother episode on body shape and all of that. And you can DM me if you have a very specific question. But at the end of the day, that's how we achieve style at any age. So use this thought remodeling process. When you hear yourself say, that's not right for me, I can never wear it, is this appropriate? Or the next time you want to ask your teenager for advice or you're worried about what someone else is thinking, that's what the thought remodel process is for. When you find yourself hitting up against that wall and you can't go from the thought to actually taking action, the thought remodel process is there to help you. All right, lady, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I hope it was super inspirational for you. Like I said, the brand new mini podcast series is going to be out here in a couple of weeks to teach you how to nail your photo shoot and look good in all your photos. So I'm super excited for that. If you want more information about the squad, there will be a link in the show notes on how to join it, what entails. But honestly, full transparency, me to you, my sales page sucks because I did it myself. So if you have real questions, just hit me up. I'm a real person doing a real podcast, leading a real style squad. So let's just chat and see if it really is a good fit for you, if you would really love it. Awesome. And thanks as always for being part of Style Nation community and for listening to the Style for Life podcast. It's your girl, Katie. I'll see you on the other side.